Hey, it's another one of those videos where I admit that I was wrong about something, but it's also a video that's positive for Xbox, and that's something that I'm sure a lot of you are going to love. Listen, Microsoft has done a very, very good job of turning things around. Yes, I don't agree with every little thing that they do, but they're still miles above what they used to do, and I have to say, I'm excited about what the future is going to bring in terms of games. Yes, I realize this year is going to be sparse on the big AAA exclusive releases from them. I said as much last year. Like, I don't know why people were bragging about the end of the year stuff with Halo and Forza Horizon 5. Because I was like, if just judging by what they've announced, and it doesn't seem like they're going to announce stuff to randomly release over the next couple of months. So you realistically are going to have to wait till October, November, December, most likely, for like a Forza Motorsport, Starfield, Redfall type of situation. So it's going to be a long wait to the end of the year, meaning, you have a good long part of the year that you have to get through. And thankfully, there's a lot of, multi-plats and stuff like that. But this bit of news I found to be absolutely fascinating, and it just goes to show how Microsoft is kind of on the right path, especially for something that I felt was going to be a negative for them, and it ended up being quite a positive. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a good video. I'm sure of that. I know you guys love my videos. I know how you like some sloppy. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? What's up, everyone? I'm the Crap Gamer, and of course, this is Crap Gamer Reviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and much more. You'll probably notice a few cool changes around here, but that shouldn't stop you from giving us a like, and possibly consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your free time with me today. It really does mean a lot. I'm so grateful. I've been getting a lot of positive messages lately. I don't really check how things are doing in terms of my channel for the most part, but I know that I've been getting a lot more messages on Xbox and things like that. So that means that things are probably going in a decent direction, and that's all I can be thankful for. I'm looking at that as a huge positive. If you are new to the channel or not even new, please like videos. That's the only thing I ask you to do. It helps them get seen. It helps the channel out, and I'm very grateful for that. So, I do put a lot of work into the videos. I do daily content. Thank you guys so much. Now, listen, I can remember thinking and saying Call of Duty was the only game I needed this year, and I really do like Call of Duty Vanguard. I think it's a good game. I think that it's probably one of the shorter campaigns, but it's good, and the multiplayer is actually pretty good. I know a lot of people don't like the World War II stuff, but this really kind of plays more like a modern multiplayer. So, it's got modern sights and stuff like that, and a lot of the kill streaks are almost modernized, I think, even though a lot of them take place back then. But, so it does feel like a solid shooter to me, right? And it does, but it wasn't received very well, and Battlefield 2042 wasn't received very well. Meanwhile, Halo, which launched around the same time, was received extremely well. Now EA is blaming Halo Infinite for Battlefield 2042's issues. Does that not sound like the most idiotic, weird thing that you've ever heard in your lives? I mean, honestly, think about that for a second. A company blaming another game, which, by the way, this game was, Battlefield is on, PlayStations and, everything else, and yet which Halo's not, and they're blaming Halo for this. It's just so funny to me. And I'm going to link this article. You guys can check it out. It just came to light today. EA believes Halo Infinite contributed to the dismal sales of Battlefield 2042. In a company town hall meeting with employees, EA acknowledged the disappointing launch of Battlefield 2042 and discussed plans to improve the game and the franchise going forward. EA's chief studio officer said the company failed to meet the expectations of our players and also clearly missed our own expectations. Identifying the reasons for the game's failure, they attributed part of the blame on the huge ambitions for the project combined with the global pandemic, which created unexpected variables in the development process. They also said that while EA received a lot of feedback concerning bugs and unpolished areas of the experience, there was also a substantial amount of positive feedback from players. Following the game's launch and the rollout of the Day 1 patch, the game was stable, and early critical reception was good. However, Battlefield was then affected by the launch of Halo Infinite, as an unfavorable comparison was made between the Xbox shooter and Battlefield 2042, with Halo perceived as the much more polished title. I don't know if even perceived as to be the word, but I mean, listen, you got two games that are both games as a service, but Halo managed to get a campaign out, even though it wasn't, doesn't have co-op and, was missing some things, but and a multiplayer out, even though the multiplayer was bare bones. I mean, they were able to do that, and Battlefield wasn't. This is one of the things that we continue to see happening, and I found it funny because people are all like, Halo's dead, Halo's dead, Halo's dead, but then you see stuff like this happen, and you just kind of go, well, if Halo's dead, how come sales for Vanguard are down? How come EA is blaming what's going on with Battlefield on that, right? Like, I don't understand the thought process behind that. It's just so funny to me. And at the end of the day, I feel like what Microsoft has done is successfully brought Halo into the future. Is it like burning up the Steam charts? No, but I do feel like it's doing something that's great in terms of being able to kind of get into people's heads again. And Microsoft is going to continue to mess with it and continue to fix it and continue to tweak it to get it better. But I just found it to be very interesting to see how this kind of happens in general, and now we're starting to see some of these weird kind of accusations, like, hey, I can't believe this game is doing so bad. It's like that. There's a lot of memes I see floating around where, EA's riding on a bike and then they stick the stick in the spokes and flip over and then they blame Halo for it. Like, listen, EA, there's only one thing to blame, and that is yourselves. There's a lot of reasons that game probably shouldn't have been released the way that it was. But at the same time, I think that you can fix things and make them right. But I've always felt like this my whole life, blaming others for your downfall or for your misgivings or your lack of hustle or whatever is always kind of a crappy thing to do. It really is just a incredibly crappy thing to do, and it does prove that Halo's kind of around. It's still a big deal. And so many people, like even on the PlayStation side, were saying how, Halo isn't a big deal and Halo doesn't matter anymore and stuff like this. Really just kind of sets it up and tells you all you need to know, right? Like, what we're seeing is that Halo is still very much a big deal, and we're going to continue to see Halo be a big deal from here on out. And please don't throw Steam numbers at me, because I've already stated numerous times, Halo has been a console game for 20 years, right? Let's just end all the nonsense right there. 20 years. I don't give a crap about the PC side of things. Honestly, I don't. And, I think for the most part, neither should you guys. I think we should stop using Steam charts, especially if you're a console gamer. Like, why on earth would you ever use, Steam or whatever as a way to gauge something that's been popular on consoles? Right? I mean, yeah, it was popular right at first on Steam, but then you have to realize that obviously, times change and things like that, and it seems like Steam people go back to, some of these old games after a little bit, and that's exactly what happened, and that was to be expected, to be honest with you. So, hopefully, you guys understand what I'm coming from when I talk about this kind of stuff. It's not trying to be negative on PlayStation or anything like that. I just feel like what we're seeing is sort of a weird kind of situation where people go out of their way to try to make Xbox look bad, and I don't feel like there is a reason for them to do that, honestly. Just my opinion, though. With that being said, I just want to take a minute and say thank you guys very much for spending some time with me. If you do enjoy the video, please like it. Thank you so much for rocking out with me. Have a fantastic day. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up, crap gamer out.